Well, this will be a very large night on Klaus Wagner's Sports Report because we will find the names of the people, the first group of people who will get to live out their sports fantasy.
But first,
yes,
Klaus got all the details of Frank Robinson's triumphant return to Baltimore.
I met Robbie Day, and he said he used to be a great admirer of yours, Al.
Oh, really? Well, I don't hit much in 3,000 either.
Well, I talked to him about that.
I hope he said something nice about me because I like it. He even shook his hand this morning at breakfast.
Did you? You
Yes.
got to meet him. It's great to see him again. I met him in Cleveland, and we welcome him back, and he's going to do a great job. Well, the Orioles did have the official welcoming out party. But the new coaches on the team, Frank, the former Bird, is the latest name to be added to the Oriole roster. And I asked him if there might be a problem sitting next to Earl in the dugout.
Well, you know, Earl keeps the dugout alive. He keeps everybody on their toes. You know, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, how can the dugout's not going to be big enough for those two? But that's not true. I played for 3.5 years for Earl, and we got along just fine. And I see no reason why we're not going to, you know, be able to get along because I know he's the boss. And I'm working for him, and I'm working for the organization and the ball club. And like I say, whatever he asks me to do, I'll do. And I don't see any problems at all. And I know there won't be any problems.
Frank, we have an anchorman back at the station, Al Sanders, who thinks that you can't hit the ball out anymore. Prove me wrong.
Well, I tell you, I can't hit it like I used to. And I don't know, right now in this weather, I couldn't hit anything. But, you know, I wish I could get a bat. But those days are gone now. And as I say, I'm going to be in the dugout. And if anyone wants to see me, they have to get there early and watch me doing batting practice.
You don't think we'll see you at all as a DH hitting, occasionally pinch hitting?
No, I know it won't. Things have to be pretty desperate for me to do that now. And I certainly hope they don't get that desperate around here this year.
Frank and Earl have been buddies for quite some time now, so I asked the skipper if he thought that Robbie had any swings left in him.
Well, I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. When he was winding up playing at California and then went over and was player manager at Cleveland, he could pick on the slow stuff. And I hated to send Cuellar out there against him, who was just finishing up, or any curveballer. But at that particular time, we got a hard thrower. We could go up, and Palmer could get the ball by him up, which at one time you could never do. But finishing up, I think we had some success up. And I don't know. We'll take a look at him swinging in spring training. If he starts hitting some of those balls out of Miami Stadium, then we might have to consider that again.
I mean, really, they got to bring Frank out a few times during the season and let him stroke a couple out of the park. It won't be any fun if he doesn't. Well, also at the stadium's Hit and Run Club this afternoon was the club's new pitching coach, Ray Miller, who replaced departing George Bamberger. I asked Miller if there were any potential 20-game winners on this year's staff outside of Palmer.
Certainly Dennis Martinez with a year behind him, and Mike with the great year that he had behind him, all have the potentially could do that. 20-game winners are a lot of people like to hang them on the wall or something like that, but the most important thing is just for me to do my job as best as I can and try to help Earl out and come up with a good pitching staff.
It should be a great year for the Orioles, and we all look forward to spring training and the season. Incidentally, the Orioles signed pitcher Don Stanhouse to a 2-year contract today, leaving 10 players unsigned on the 39-man roster.